You're ungrateful. Get out and never come back." She didn't shout it. She hissed it like venom through clenched teeth. Her face, once familiar, once home, twisted into something unrecognizable. Her wine glass sat half full on the counter, trembling slightly from how hard she'd slammed the drawer shut moments earlier. I stood there, still in my work shirt, keys in one hand, the other hovering over the coffee mug I'd been sipping from when the storm hit. I had no defense, no words. Just silence. It was safer. Her mother stood behind her, arms folded like a judge, handing down a sentence. No one stopped me as I grabbed my coat and walked out. The door didn't slam. I closed it gently, like it was sacred once, and I didn't want to wake the ghosts still sleeping inside. I thought I'd be back by morning. I thought she'd call. I thought wrong. I waited. For regret, for longing, for that desperate ache that makes a man crawl back with flowers and apologies he doesn't owe. It never came. Instead came the stillness. And, with it, memories I'd buried under the weight of what I thought was love. Like how her family always called me so lucky to have her, with that particular tone that turns praise into mockery. Or how her brother used my car like it was his, dented the bumper, never said a word. I noticed the tiny things too, how she winced whenever I asked about bills, always changing the subject with a kiss or a guilt trip. I started looking closer. Bank alerts. Missed emails. One night, unable to sleep, I dug into an old file folder I'd been too trusting to question. Mortgage statements. Title documents. My name on everything. Her name on nothing. It wasn't just my heart they took. It was my money. My credit. My future. I had funded a family fantasy without knowing I was the outsider footing the bill. That was when the anger came. Quiet, sharp, and precise. It was a Tuesday. Late afternoon. The kind of light that makes shadows long and secrets harder to hide. Her mother called. I almost didn't answer. "Sweetheart," she said, her voice coated in artificial sugar. "I noticed the mortgage hasn't been paid this month. There must be a mistake." I stood still, phone pressed to my ear, staring out the window at the apartment I'd moved into 2 weeks ago. It wasn't much, but at least it was mine. There was a pause. She waited for me to stammer, to apologize, to offer to fix it. Instead, I said calmly, "You mean your mortgage?" She stuttered. "Well, what?" "No, darling, the house you and—" "No," I said, cutting her off. "The house in my name. The one I paid the down payment for. The one none of you ever contributed to. That house." Silence. "I found the loan documents," I added. "Found the text threads. They'll never notice conversations between you and your daughter." She should have changed her password. There was a sharp inhale, then silence again, like she forgot how to breathe without controlling someone. "You knew?" she whispered. "Not at first," I said. "But getting thrown out might be the best thing she ever did for me." The truth was clinical. Cold. Numbers and signatures. Forged comfort sold as partnership. I'd been paying the mortgage on a home that was never mine in spirit. Her name wasn't on the deed. Just mine. But the plans? The whispers? The entitled way her family used the house like a resort? That part was all theirs. When I confronted her, she didn't cry. Didn't flinch. She leaned back in her chair, crossed her arms, and said, "You could afford it." I laughed. Not loud. Just a single, stunned exhale. "That's it? That's what you think of me?" "You're not a victim," she said flatly. "You wanted to take care of me. Don't make it ugly now." The detachment in her voice was surgical. No guilt. No remorse. Just calculation. So I nodded, packed up what little I'd left behind, and left again. But this time, I called the bank first, canceled the auto pay, froze the accounts she'd tied herself to. Quiet, lawful cuts. She didn't notice until the house payment bounced, until the utilities started flickering, until the family dinners turned into financial interrogations. Word got around fast. Friends called. Mutuals whispered. She spiraled. I watched from a distance, untouched, unapologetic. Weeks later, I heard the house was foreclosed, sold off at auction. Her family's scattered mother moved in with a cousin. Brother went radio silent. My ex-wife? I didn't ask. Didn't care. Justice didn't come with applause. It came with silence. I never shouted, never gloated, just existed without them. That, it turns out, was the most unbearable revenge of all. Sometimes silence is a punishment. Sometimes it's freedom. In my case, it was both. You see, I didn't need to burn the house down. I just had to stop holding it up. And now, I live quiet, simple, free. And when people ask why I left her, I just smile and say, she told me to. Let them fill in the rest. Let the silence speak for me.